So for real talk, of course, Matt Martinson is currently in the Clay Entertainment stream. If you want to go there too and check it out, have two windows open, go for it. But he's over there talking about and making creature noises, I think. I'm not sure what he's doing right now. I'm not watching, of course, but he is gonna try to drop in at 4:30, of course. You know well that he is usually here, giving his straight talk in the chat, as I am the Paula Abdul to his Simon Cowell. So he may join in. And of course, as always, everyone's always welcome to kind of give their impressions in the chat. I'm happy to kind of read out what everyone's thinking and talk about that as we go. So I will be given my thoughts on Javier's, and I actually realized that in r/game audio on Reddit, Javier had posted what I assume is the same sound design reel, given that it was posted 3 days ago, or 1 day ago. Jeez, I can safely assume it's the same one, and Matt actually responded there as well. So I may even just read those comments for everyone, just for their purposes, since they aren't reading it themselves, and he's not here to say it. But if he was here, he'd be saying the same things, so it works out well. So I'm going to open this up right now. Oh, he says nope. It's nope. It was a longer one. Oh, the new one? You reacted a day ago to his response, and now it's shorter? That's killer. Okay, well, we'll have to see then, I guess. Damn, well, props to you for the breakneck turnaround. Killer. Well, let me open you up right now here. Let's find your page. How nice is this album? Are you serious right now? Ugh, it's so good. Here we are. We'll do a little zoom on here. That's pretty good. And I'll kill off FM84 for a second. There we go. Okay. Again, I'm pumped you're here right now, so cheers. Probably favorite tracks, probably number 2 there. The one you were saying with Ollie. It's killer. Okay, so if you're new to the stream, we do a little thing called Real Talk. We go through a couple reels every week, usually from about 4 till 5 p.m. Try to give about half an hour to each one, somewhere between 20 minutes and half an hour. Depends on how much there is to look at, really. And we'll look at kind of the whole thing, and we'll look at it as if we were a prospective employer. So if Javier, for example, was like, I want to apply at Volition or something, and then like I am playing the part of the Volition audio director who'd be looking at this thing, and when I get a resume on my desk, or when I get a contact email or whatever, inevitably the first thing I do is go to the site and have a look around, right? So I have not looked at anything in advance, so I have seen none of this so far, and the whole point is to kind of emulate what it would be like if you sent your reel to somebody and they were going in blind. Okay, so when we watch the reel, we'll watch the whole thing through, but I will, if it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, I'd have stopped it here, then I will tell you at that point that I would have stopped it here, and I'd tell you why, okay? And apart from that, we can look at the page as well first, as we always do. So we'll look at the About straight away. Hi, I am Javier Zumer. I sure hope I'm saying your name right, man. A freelance sound designer for video games based in Ireland. I have a sound for media associate degree. I did my internship at music recording studio. Cool. I also have experience in location recording, post-production for films and TV. Here's my IMDb. Oh, cool. Let's have a look at that. With some of my credits. Great. My current focus is in game audio, using integration tools like Fmod and Wise, and game engines like Unity and Unreal. I know some basic coding, C# and JavaScript, enough to understand the inner workings of a game and communicate with programmers and designers. Cool. Oh, that's not it. There's more. I thought it was done there. Having worked in linear audio, I'm amazed by the possibilities that interactive sound design offers, and I look forward to keep developing my skills and knowledge in this fascinating field. Okay, cool. For more information, complete CV, or job inquiries, drop me a line at... Killer. Let's have a look at this IMDb. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, having anything there that says I have worked, like I have done work, is great. Even if it's not in games, it's still in the same field. So if I would say, like, if you send your resume to me and it says line cook at White Spot or something, like, that's not really relevant to what I'm looking for. But if you say, hey, I volunteered at a music festival, or I did if we're talking and you say, "Yeah, I did my sister's wedding" or something, like even that is still relevant, like way more relevant than "I was a chef" or something. Holding a job is important, but not as relevant as something like "I've been in film." So that's really awesome. So portfolio. Cool. There's plenty of stuff here. You worked on Epic? No way. I know this game. That was you. Awesome. Cool. Let's go back to the front page here. Reel. Here we go. And by the way, I have this snazzy new. There you go. That's what we're looking for. So I talked to Matt about this, and we're kind of trying to nail down and define the various things that we're actually looking for, as opposed to kind of just saying general impressions throughout. So we're looking for, and I'm not going to give like a 5-star, like out of 5 stars presentation or something. We're just looking at things to talk about. So presentation, that's everything about the whole website, about the whole reel, just kind of general flow, stuff like that. Just how are you presenting yourself to somebody who doesn't know you. Material selection, we're looking at like if you did a Blizzard trailer redesign, or if you did a, oh thank you Zoe, or if you did something like a replacement of the audio in Limbo, or if you did linear design of some cartoon or something. We're looking at that and how relevant that is and what that says, or what value that plays in your reel. And then the content quality, of course, is just simply, is it good? Is it designed well or not? And distinction, we're having a hard time kind of deciding what to call this, because it's basically like the wow me factor, which I hate, like the pizzazz, you know, it's such a stupid thing to say. But a good example would be something like, I know we've been using Barney Orem as a great example for the past couple of weeks for real talk. And so Barney had 100 hours of recording project, and it was a blog he updated on a regular basis, showing that he was very active and very passionate. Like that's the kind of thing that, for example, Javier doesn't have that. Like I'm not saying he should, but it's not like everyone should have a freaking 100 hours project blog, obviously, but something that stands apart from here's my reel and that's all I got. Or here's my reel and there's something in there that is very special and interesting. That's kind of, it's a very, very broad term, meaning is this more interesting? Are you standing out from a crowd? Because there's definitely a crowd out there that you're competing with. Okay, let's have a glance at this guy. 1 minute and 4 seconds, killer! I'm pumped. I will crank this up and I will kill my side chain, okay? Let's have a look. Boom. Jesus, 1 second. Thanks a lot, man. All right, clap is in the chat, please. A little bit of that, please. A little bit of this. Please, please. All right, so let's watch through again and comment as we go, shall we? Here we go. So right away, I have mixed feelings about jumping right in. Also, this felt weird to me. So we'll start the presentation, okay? This feels weird to me. I get what you're doing, and it's good to have a title here, but it's... I had a hard time like reading this on first glance. It's like title, I read it as title developer game engine sound engine. And then I read this And then I was like, oh, I understand. And I had to like go back and read it again. And meanwhile, I was missing other stuff. So, because you have this divider, right? So that kind of says this is a thing and this is a thing. And what you want to have is this, 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 this. So it just like, it's a very small detail. It's something, but I mean, just in terms of what I saw the first time, I didn't really know what I was looking at. So that might be something to consider. Also, I kind of want you to have your own information first. You know, we have a lot of past reels where we got something like this, and the first thing we see is like that kind of thing, you know? And that's very common on a lot of reels, that you'd have the information first, just to kind of say, hey, here's what you're looking at. Because the thing is, you want to be very clear right away. Having it at the end is important, and being a minute long is good too, because it means they have a greater chance of seeing it. But it's most common to have it kind of bookended, like here, and all your content in the middle. So that may be something to consider as well. The flow between shots is kind of abrupt and a little weird, but it's fine probably. Like it's kind of quick. It's like, and now we're here, and this same thing. That's like fine. There's nothing special about it, but it just kind of does the job. And then into. See, I like that it's all stuff you've worked on, too. That's awesome. That's really good, dude. Cool. Yeah, I like it. So, in terms of presentation, it's like, it's fine. The title thing might be something to consider, and having your name bookended. As far as material selection, yo, pretty cool. So, I'm safely assuming you've worked on all these things. You worked on Ghost 1.0. You worked on Unearned Bounty. You worked on, is it the same one? No, it's over here, right? Sorry, I'm skipping around. Kane, Gazpacho Games, Unreal NF mod. Yeah, like if you had a 3-minute version of this same content, it would have been way too long. This is really nice. In terms of length, it's perfect. It's pretty balanced too. Like here's something in 2D, here's something in 3D. Yeah, it's really nice. Awesome. I also like that it is a sound design reel and has only sound design. That's effing great, yo. We've had a lot of people send in reels that have music and sound design side by each. It was 3 minutes before, but the same content. Like there was nothing additional. It was just more of each of those things. Because yeah, so I'll tell you what Matt said about the old reel then, just for everyone in the chat. So, excuse me. So Matt said, first, nice clean sight, right to the point, which is good. Agreed. So the reel, as soon as I press play, I get some dread at it being 3 minutes long. Yes. Honestly, at 30 seconds, I was bored. And would have skipped around if he wasn't reviewing it. Okay, yeah, so there you go. I didn't feel the need to skip around at all. It was like, and we're done, and we're done. And yeah, Subverter says, throw that card at the front, man. Absolutely, do it. I think pointing out what sounds you're showing in the first part is good, but feel in the second game you're talking down to me, explaining how the sounds work. You may have changed that. Thanks for the feedback. I appreciate the honesty. That's all you. And then, yes, mostly people seem to agree 1 minute is good for a first show reel. Absolutely. Having longer ones of each item to show more if needed, but 1 minute is good for people to see first. So, good stuff. I'm really impressed that you got this feedback a day ago, and now you have a 1 minute long reel. That's killer. Really, really good. There's your distinction right there. Having a 1 day turnaround on fixing feedback from somebody who is totally in a good place of giving you feedback. Okay, so material selection. Like I was saying, I like how this is kind of 2D, but it moves around a lot. Like it's 2D but scrolling. So it seems like there's kind of some positional sound in there. I'm assuming at least. Sounded like there was. And here's some shifting perspective and such. Great. Here is, again, 3D game, Unity and Wise. Proprietary sound engine for on Epic. Yeah, even that as well, showing different sound engines you've worked in is really nice too. That's great. Very cool. Okay, so in terms of content quality, yeah, like it's pretty good. Yeah, like it's fine. This is nice. It's tasteful. The best thing is it's all in game. That's so good. One thing, I feel like it's quiet. Is it quiet for anybody else? I'm gonna double check it's not on my end. I'm pretty sure it isn't. It might just be that the games are quiet. That's very possible too. But overall, I'm peaking. I mean, even these like explosions and stuff. Yeah, they're peaking at like minus 18. So that's one thing you might consider doing. Just take the whole reel and just bump it up. You know, I mean, it's not going to hurt to be louder. People can choose to turn down their things on their side if they're very sensitive. But overall, I think that you could have more sound. I mean, your whole purpose here is to play things and make sure the listener hears them, right? So if it's too quiet, you risk someone being in a loud setting or something and not hearing what you want them to hear. And worst case scenario, they just turn it down. You mastered in Pro Tools. Did you crank it? Because it seems really quiet. Like, I'm relatively certain it's not going through... Oh, wait, it is on my end. God damn. Here we go. Apologies. Human error. Let's hear it again, guys. Let's crank it. Boom. There we go. Apologies, everyone. Oh, yeah, this is sick. This is amazing. Yeah, cool. Way, way, way better. Thank you for clarifying, Javier. I may have gone through the whole thing and not realize I had a freaking, like 10% volume fader down. Okay, yeah, way better. Cool. And there you go. So Bulbasaur's meow says, so much I didn't hear before. Likewise. So I'm glad it's in there now. For example, the ambient space in here and also in this shot. There's a lot more going on kind of left and right now. Yeah, cool. Really good. As far as distinction, oh, sorry, one thing I want to mention in content quality. There was some stuff in this one that I felt is weird. It's always tricky with games like this, where it's kind of a distant shot, like a 2D platformer or 2D side scroller, that kind of thing, because your perspective as far as where your listener is sitting, it's you kind of need to make a judgment call in that the listener probably shouldn't be on the character, if that makes sense. So if you're unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, the listener is the thing that is basically taking in all the sound and is getting directional and positional information and volume information too, if there's like 3D roll-off over a distance. So if there's something like you know, a campfire or something that has a positional sound, if the listener is on the character and they walk past it, you're going to hear fire like all in your left ear and then boom, across to your right ear right away. Whereas if the listener is like here, like where my face is compared to the scene, then you have a lot more kind of left-right panorama. So things on the left side of the screen or of the scene would then be, you know, maybe 30 or probably like 30% left, something like that. Maybe like 50 at absolute maximum. And then, you know, vice versa for the right-hand side of the screen. Whereas things in the center, of course, would be coming right from the middle because that's where you're looking at it. The second part of that is that you kind of need to, or it's a choice. Like it's a choice you're making. So personally, if I had worked on, for example, on Epic, I'd probably be a bit more careful about some of the sounds being so loud, because yes, it's kind of the only thing happening in the scene. And one stood out to me here, the skeleton death or crumble or whatever it was, stood out real big to me as far as being kind of a bit much. Was it here? Yeah, these like the kind of the bone scrapes and stuff. They're just, I mean, maybe it's like personal choice or personal preference, but I would definitely keep kind of the denouement of this interaction with this character to be a little more, I mean the enemy character, to be a bit on the lower side, since the attacks and the hurts are way more significant than like the kind of after the fact of the death. The blah of the death is pretty important, but the debris from the bones like doesn't need to be nearly as loud. On this game came out and it's quite good, so I'm not going to do too much critiquing of the sound on it, but and like same thing there. It's tricky because you want to have a positional thing happening, like this. The spell is coming from that character, but we also hear the spell kind of all around us, right there. Does that make sense? When mixed with music, it sounds more balanced, I think. But I get what you say. I get what you're saying. No, shut up. That's fine. Yeah, it's just it's a weird balance, and I'm facing it right now in Starcrawlers actually, because during combat you have kind of these 5 characters on screen, like that, I guess. So it's like bump, 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 and we have some positional information, so that if the far left-hand side attacking, it sounds a bit at left, and then vice versa for right. And there's some attacks where they, you know, every enemy sound is mono for the most part because it's coming from a point source. But there are some things, like for example, if they shoot some acid spit at you or something, then we have a for the spit, and it's mono, and then in Fmod we have it transitioning into a stereo element that goes like and kind of approaches you and then surrounds you at the very end. So you hear kind of like some sizzling and burning kind of all around you on left and right. So we kind of play with stylizing some things to make them seem larger than life, and positioning other things to make sure they have a space in the world. We had a reel last week, I think it was Jesse Sitter's reel, that we just looked at really briefly, where there was a thing at the very end. I'll show it to you right now, actually. It's really easy to find it. It's right here, I think. Very end, they're like it doesn't really sound like it's coming from this thing. Because we have tons of left-right information and not much center. So but the thing we're looking at is right in the center of the screen. So is it somehow like only the aura is making sound at left and right and not right in front of us? It serves to take us out of the shot because we're no longer being put in a position where the sound, what we're hearing makes sense compared to what we're seeing. So it's definitely a very detailed thing, and like I said, it's completely a taste thing very often as well. If you have something like this, you want to have everything being really huge, then that's really cool. And there probably is a space for that, and it probably should be there. But what we'll often do, and this is even getting outside this game a little bit, Javier, but what we'll do sometimes is we will play just 2 sounds at once. Like we're doing this in Death's Gambit right now, where we have two sounds at once, where one is mono, coming from the thing, so that we know that we always have this kind of locked in the world, and then we have a stereo sound also playing that just plays sort of independent of wherever it is. Like, who cares? Because yeah, like you say, we want it to be kind of like big and interesting. And with the music, it often kind of sits really nice too to have stereo elements kind of bookended in. Therefore, or not therefore, sorry. You know, then you don't have every sound of the game just like right up the center. So just something to consider. So I tried not to be too stereo because it sounds weird in this kind of game, But since we didn't use middleware, it wasn't everything to control panning as much. Oh, you didn't have everything to control panning as much as you wanted to. Yeah, exactly. So it's tricky. I mean, when you don't have the tools, you can't do the thing, right? And you're kind of forced to just deal with it and make everything stereo or everything mono and hope it just works out okay. But overall, man, like really strong. And the most important thing, again, is that these are all things you've worked on. That's awesome. And that's not something you see very often as far as this kind of reel goes. So really strong work. As far as distinction goes, well, let's look at the page again. I mean, there's about, there's portfolio, and I just want to look at the portfolio. I didn't look at this in detail. Oh, so like Matt said, have longer ones of each item to show more if needed, but 1 minute's good for people to see the first time. Yeah, so if I saw your reel and I was like, this guy's pretty good, which I did, in this case, I could go to portfolio and see, oh, what's the deal with Ghost 1.0, or what's the deal with Unearned Bounty? And that's really awesome. These are all really good. So how long are these things then? They're like 45 seconds? That's awesome, yeah. So it sounds like you had some distant stuff going on there too, where like the farther away it is, the more it's rolled off. Like more like poof, rather than the shoreline, cool. Yeah, it's cut nicely because I mean you've got kind of all these little hero moments shown, and if the kind of person you're playing this for knows what they're looking at too, so it's good. With 8 players. Oh, cool. Yeah. Are those hitting the ship though? These hits? If that's doing damage, I feel like that could be a bit crunchier, man. Like that is that. If that's an enemy ship hitting your ship, that's got to be devastating, or at least a little more energetic than that. Let's see here. Kane 1214 1214. Oh, Kids app. This is new. Jesus Christ. Oh man, and that's what I was saying about having a blind and honest reaction. Holy, that was loud. I'm gonna play it again. It's at full volume, but here we go. Oh man, dude. Oh, it's crazy. That's got to be pulled back. So, on the topic of casual games and kids games and stuff like that. Hey Joey. Mwah. Joey got a course of Power Up Audio. What's up, buddy? On the topic of casual games and kids games, you probably should mix lower. And furthermore, this app is available in App Store and Google Play. This game is built for a mobile venue, right? So, given that you can expect safely for this game to be played, or probably the app too. I mean, it's likely on the app page, right? This trailer is probably on the app page. I mean, you can expect that this would be playing in a device that replicates high frequencies very efficiently and low frequencies not so well. So whenever you're mixing anything for a mobile device, you got to be real careful, more careful than usual, of having any kind of high frequency content in there that's too piercing. Because if it's even on the cusp of being too piercing, it'll definitely be too piercing on kind of small tinny speakers like on an iPad or like on a tablet or a phone. So this thing, playing at full volume right here, this music volume is so quiet. My God. It's so quiet. I'm going to turn it down now. Like, even that's too loud for that pop. Yeah, so that volume at that wee is where it probably should be in the full mix, rather than right here. So I'll finish there. That definitely this should be either not in the page or fixed probably. that's my honest opinion, because this is well. I mean, it's good that you have kind of a variety of projects, but this is the weakest thing I've heard so far. And core, it might even just be that it's an older thing you did and you just weren't as experienced yet. That's very possible too. And then here's into core sound design remake. So out of curiosity, actually, where's this? Let's see here. July 18th, 2013. Oh man, dude. 2013. Oh, yeah. Same thing about piercing highs, man. Do yourself a favor and take both these off your reel. Just get rid of them. This one's probably fine. Let's see where this is as far as time goes. Oh, July 26th. This is like last week you put this up. Okay, yeah, dude, Javier, get rid of these two games, man. Just get rid of these two. Done. I don't know about this one here. Jump to 7 minutes to hear the sound design? Sure, let's hear this. It's cool to have a film in here, just for showing that kind of chops, or those kind of chops. Joey, I'm scared. Hey, Matt. This is the tail end of Javier's section. Sound design police showed up. Yeah, man. Yeah, you missed a lot. No, it's fine. You're all good, dude. Is Clay all finished up? I'm gonna skip. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. The app sounds better, I think. I didn't even have a chance to mix the trailer right now. That's pretty bad. It's a kid's game. Yeah, like it's good to be like I worked into the thing. You know, sorry, Matt, I was saying that on the site, this has got to go. I'll play it for your benefit. Okay, I'm gonna do this one more time. I'm gonna take my headphones off though. So this is your 5-second turn on your volume warning. Maybe Matt, you shouldn't, just so you can hear it. But here you go. That's all I need to hear, just that. It's a huge, huge mix issue, and this, and as well, this core sound design remake is from 2013. Just get rid of it. Your newer stuff's way better, anyways. And I don't care about remakes when you've already got all like stuff you've worked on. You know, it's not relevant. Okay, so that's all from Javier. Thank you so much, man. Thank you very much for your submission, and thank you as well just for being here. That's really awesome. I love when people kind of hang out for the chat. So, Matt is now here, and of course Matt... Oh, you don't know, by the way, so you said on the Reddit post that it shouldn't be 3 minutes, it should be 1 minute. Well, it already is. He already fixed it. Like, compared to yesterday, it's already fixed, so that's pretty killer. There's your distinction right there. Pretty awesome. Okay, let's carry on to...